Today on Beavertown Outdoors, road work. Hello again, friends. Welcome to another edition of Beavertown Outdoors. I'm John. I'm out here at the beautiful Beavertown compound, and today we're going to do some more work towards the migration to the new Woodyard. As maybe you've seen from my other videos, a couple other videos, I've talked about it. We're going to move the Woodyard out to the back property. To do that, we got my last video, which I hope you watched. I had Patriot Land Clearing come out and clear out a whole huge swath, like four acres or so out back. Get started on, get that opened up and ready to move all the processing, the logs, the wood drying, everything out there. But one of the challenges with the property out there is that we need to be able to get back there on quite a regular basis, driving back and forth. Now, I've always been able to drive out there for the most part by way of this trail. I won't call it a road. I'm going to call it a trail. But basically, comes all the way out here and leads back to the back property. But the problem is, it's literally just a path cut through the woods, and it's got some low spots. It's all, likes to turn to mush when it rains, or when we thaw in the spring after winter. It takes forever for this to dry. Now, to fix some of that, I've been working on it. I'm going to continue to cut down trees out here to open up, bring more sunlight in here. Because as I've been doing that, this has been actually drying out. But to further improve, we're going to actually build this road up some, or this trail up. And to do that, I got a couple loads of fill sand to bring out here, raise this up a bit, and then we'll kind of smooth it out, grade it, and that's going to give us that should give us a more maintainable path out to the Woodyard. But one of the other challenges with this is, again, we have a creek that runs through the middle of our property, and you actually have to cross that. And I brought up before, I showed the bridge and its challenges after the giant infamous flood of 2020 we had out here. It took out my bridge, which is just basically makes you a bridge with a large chunk of pipe, culvert pipe basically, and have it built up, and it's got some concrete on the sides, and another dead piece of ash came down. But I never did fully recover this, and for the longest time I was only occasionally going out here, but now I'm going to be out here more regularly. So going to need this bridge to be much more reliable and much more stable. And one of the things that, because I never really backfilled this correctly and covered back over the culvert pipe, it's actually led to, like when the forestry mulcher was out here, the big heavy machine, it actually put a dent in the culvert pipe. So we need to stop that. This should be strong enough. I wouldn't drive a semi-truck, a log truck over it, but it should be plenty strong to last for a while for me to drive, for sure, my tractor and the cart with logs and wood and whatnot back and forth. You know, kind of thinking, you know, hopefully it would be strong enough that I could, you know, drive the truck with the dump trailer over when to load out here instead of having to tractor cart everything out from the Woodyard. Again, these are just things we're gonna work on as we go. But so to fix this, besides moving this branch out of the way, I'm gonna, or treetop, whatever it is, I do have also got crushed concrete to work on filling that back in. So that's what's on the agenda today. Is we're gonna take and start building this up and improving it, because then I need to also get out there, and I've got another tool that I'll show you in another video. I bought a 3-point landscape rake to put on the back of the Branson, that we're going to clear all of what's left over after you have a forestry mulcher come out. You know, they don't bag up that like it's lawn clippings. That would be very big bagger, I guess, to do that. They leave it on the ground, and you know, you can just leave it for it to kind of mulch the ground and maybe keep some of the weeds down. But there's not really enough of that to, as I've seen with other times when I've done that, there's not enough mulch to keep weeds from growing at all, and I end up having to come out with the flail mower and mow it. So I don't want to chew up everything with the flail mower and beat that up, so we're going to go out there and rake that on another video. But as I said, got the old trusty and reliable Branson 2515, available now as the TYM 2515. And I've got over here, I know this doesn't look that impressive, but here is 9 tons of fill sand. We're going to use that to build up the road. And then over in the dump trailer is 4 tons of crushed concrete. So this should be enough to hopefully fill in the bridge, cover the culvert pipe the way it's supposed to be, make that much more stable. And hopefully by the end of today, it will be a real solid, dependable road and bridge that I can get across, and we can get on with moving production out there. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. I'm gonna get the Branson fired up, and we're gonna get started laying some sand down, and you're gonna watch. So now we've got this built up, and you know, it's built up. It's not even, it's not flat by any means, but we're gonna make it so. And the way we're gonna do that is, again, with the Branson. We're gonna put an implement on the back that I'm sure any of you tractor owners are familiar with. Is this a box blade? So we're gonna take the box blade and we're gonna run it over that a few times, and that should level it out. I've got it set so that the tilt on it is set such that it should only dig if there's a high spot. So, you know, this is really set up to flatten. So I don't have it perfectly flat, because I found that if you do that with uneven ground, the tractor movement on unflat surface is going to make you dig where you don't want to. So we got it set. I'm going to set you guys down and we're going to flatten this out a bit. And just like that, we got the road repaired, built up. It's nice. It's sand. Obviously, it's got to pack down some more, and I'll probably fine tune it a little bit before it's all said and done later on. But now we're going to go down and we're going to work on the bridge, finish that up, and call it a day. So as I said earlier, I got over there, I got a pile of crushed concrete, and we're going to go down and we're going to dump that down at over the culvert pipe, get that covered back up. That way it gets it nice and strong and ready to be driven over, and hopefully won't collapse and end up with me and equipment in the river or in the creek. So, all right, stay tuned. So the camera in this heat, is it's 90 something, sunny, humid, hot. Yeah, the camera was having a little heat difficulty, so unfortunately there's a lot I didn't get on camera, but we got done and I'll show you what we got. So it's not perfect yet, but it's built up. You know, this is sand, and it's gonna have to pack down, and I'm gonna probably tomorrow come out here with the giant roller that I have and roll this out smooth and let it pack down, and eventually it should just, once it dries out, you know, because there's moisture in there, you know, come from a big pile of sand. But and then here's the bridge. Again, not exactly perfect yet. This was took all 4 tons of crushed concrete that I had to do this. I'll probably end up getting some more, you know, and try to fill out more to the edge. But for now, this will work, and should be good to go to drive on it for a while. So the next thing coming out is to clean up out here. Again, if you didn't see my video on when we cleared this out, here's what it looks like. You can see all the debris is drying up nice. It's drying up nice, and yeah, be ready to rake up. We'll rake it up, we'll burn it, and then we can start moving equipment out here, hopefully soon. So that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Hope you like what you saw, and hope it gives you an idea what you could possibly do yourself with a tractor. You know, all that, the sand and the crushed concrete cost me right around 200 bucks. You know, plus the fuel. You know, there's some fuel, a few trips back and forth. Luckily, the material yard's not very far from my house, so from the compound, and so that cut down a little bit on the fuel cost. But yeah, you can do a lot with a tractor. So anyway, guys, it's going to do it for me today. If you like what you saw, again, please like and subscribe. Feel free to share. And until next time, from all of us here at the beautiful Beavertown compound and Beavertown Outdoors, take care of each other, be good, stay safe, and I'm out.